What's up guys, my name's Jessica and I'm a full service escort from Brisbane, Australia. I'm also the host of a podcast called The Latex Files and I create content on TikTok and Instagram. So when I'm out and about in the digital world, I will frequently see a whole lot of men saying, "Oh, I would never pay for S. I don't have to pay for S." And I will also see a lot of women who would say, "I would never date a man who has paid for S." I think the men who say this are scary and the women who say this are stupid. So let me talk about the men. It's no secret that men are more likely to be happy with or otherwise covet casual sexual encounters with women. So encounters that are outside of the bounds of some sort of relationship or where they don't think that there is relationship potential. Whereas on the other hand, for women, I think it's safe to say that most women aren't going out and about out there intending to have S with multiple men without the prospect or thinking that they have relationship potential. So therefore, you get out and about in society and you get on the dating apps as a woman, and every man will present themselves in some way as being interested in a monogamous long-term relationship. There are very few men out there who are openly stating, "Oh, I just want casual sexual encounters." I'm not saying it doesn't happen. Yes, there are some men who are very honest, but the vast majority of them are not so honest about their intentions. Or indeed, they might intend to maybe one day find a partner during the dating process, but they don't mind having the opportunity of dating and potentially sleeping with a variety of women until they find that particular one. Whereas for women, I think it's safe to say that we probably won't be dating a guy over and over and sleeping with him unless we think that there is maybe some sort of relationship potential there. It's pretty less likely that a woman's going out and about and sort of happy to have casual S. And there's a whole lot of sort of evolutionary reasons for that and biological reasons for that as well. Well, a lot of the time, how do these sort of casual sexual encounters happen? A lot of the time, it's from a fundamental misrepresentation by the man as to his potential intentions with that woman. So he might be doing a whole lot of things for her, expressing a whole lot of interest, even dropping the L-bomb, like saying that he loves her, that he sees a future with her, he's really interested in her, etc., like really packing on the charm, right? He might also misrepresent what he has in terms of like his assets, his lifestyle, what his family situation is like, and just generally his intention to pursue a committed relationship, which could ultimately result in like marriage and children, essentially. I don't think it's a secret to say there's a whole lot of men out there in society that are effectively misrepresenting themselves to a whole lot of women, including how much they actually like the woman. They'll overstate how much they actually sort of like the woman and the potential that they'll see in her for a committed relationship in order to have an opportunity to sleep with her. Therefore, I think that men who pay for S, as opposed to engaging in that sort of game playing and manipulation, are more ethical than men who say, "Oh no, I would never do that. I don't need to do that. Like, I have game." I literally have guys on my social media telling me I don't need to do that because I've got game. Like, I know how to like charm women and I know how to get women. I don't need to pay. But they're not ethical people. They're scary people. Like, this is how they're getting those women, by telling them lies. So that's about the men's side. Scary, okay? Now turning to the women who turn around and say, "Oh, I would never date a guy who like has paid for it or has had to pay for it." Well, what you don't understand, miss, is that, you know, a man is driven by lust and is more happy to have a variety of casual sexual encounters. I mean, it's no secret, we hear about that all the time, right? So chances are you're more interested in dating and you're pursuing men, right? If you're going to cut out all the men who like are happy to pay for it, you're interested in a big pool of men who are happy to tell women a whole lot of baloney and BS in order to sleep with them. That's a big chunk of basically of the dating pool that you're going to be dealing with, okay? Whereas when we're talking about SW, right, and pursuing the services, engaging the services of a professional, The entire arrangement is predicated on consent, where both parties are extremely clear at the outset. He does not have to lie. He does not have to tell me that he wants a relationship. In fact, that's not on the cards. He doesn't have to tell me that, he's some big hotshot in the corporate world. He doesn't have to tell me that, his business is doing amazingly. He doesn't have to tell me that he's some sort of genius. He doesn't have to act like the best guy ever. He can kind of come to me with whatever, okay, as long as he's coming with like the right amount of money, coming on time, respectful attitude, blah, 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 blah. But I guess what I'm trying to say is the entire arrangement is predicated on honesty from both sides as to the nature of the SEL engagement, and consent, right? So these women are rejecting that entirely because they're just the idea of a man like paying for it disgusts them for some reason. But they're living in a fairy tale fantasy land. I think what I'm trying to say about these women is they're stupid because they're living in a fairy tale fantasy land where all the other men, right, is just made up like of a pool of these amazing men who would never lie to a woman or manipulate a woman to like get into their pants for a casual SEL encounter. And I'm here to say that's dopey. That's dumb. Like, you've only got to talk. And I don't understand how these women can sit there and continue to sort of have that stance, to honestly, hand on heart, have that stance and think it's all like sunshine and roses over here, when they probably have had experiences with men who have tried the game on them and tried to manipulate them and lied to them in order to get them to give it up, and then like ghosted them the next day, like they weren't actually interested in a relationship, or they're like, oh no, I've changed, I just need to work on myself, like I've changed my mind, right? Or they're cheating, they're getting into relationships. Fair enough, they're getting into relationships with these women. Like, how many women have been cheated on, right? Like, I don't care. I don't care if my clients cheat on me with another woman. I've got many clients who will actively tell me like, oh, I see this and this person, or I've seen like a squillion different people. And they're ethical in the sense of like, they say, well, look, I'm not a one-woman guy. I want more than one woman in my life to satisfy my SEL needs, or I want to change it up here and there. I want to have a whole lot of different SEL experiences. They're honest. Do you think the guys over here don't want that too? Of course they do, right? Of course they want it too. But they have chosen, whether it's for economic reasons or because they want to portray themselves as a more traditional person, they want to appear to be morally superior, like for whatever sort of reason, they're rejecting this lifestyle, looking at that as like, wrong, trying to talk down on it. But they're over here doing the nasty behind their woman's back with other women, or like manipulating women and lying to them to get into their pants. So that's why I hope I've convinced somebody. Let me know what you think in the comments. It's a bit of a heated one. It's just one I've been like ruminating a bit on recently from some engagements that I've had on my social media. But anyway, look, if you are interested in hearing about more opinions from me about SW, like the nature of SW, like what it's all about, the adult industry, please do check out my podcast called The Latex Files. If you would like to support my channel, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will also leave my Buy Me a Coffee link below because I don't earn anything from this, so anything that I can get just really like inspires me to keep going. Thank you so much.